Hello everyone and welcome back to the Seasonal Storm. Today we took a really fun visit to my favorite bookstore of all time, Grassroots Books in Reno, Nevada, on a very special treasure hunt, and I have a lot to show you. So if that interests you, stay tuned and I'll see you in just a second. Okay, so the weather's getting colder. We're getting snowstorms. It's snowing at night here. Nothing's really sticking, but we're definitely getting towards that area. Now, I will go ahead and start this out by saying I know that everyone gifts differently, and I'm adding this to my gift guide collection series. But for some backstory, I am a bonus mama, and my bonus baby is hitting double digits this year, and we have lots of really fun surprises for her birthday coming up that we've kind of been planning and working on all year. And I have a very generous, wonderful family that's also helping me with a lot of these surprises. So part of this video is about her for her birthday. Well, actually it's all about her, I guess, technically. So part of it is just for her birthday, but the other part of this video is for advent calendars. Now, before we hop into it, let me explain. We have started a tradition with her where for the last several years, between the beginning of Advent and Christmas Eve, every day that she is with us, she opens a new book for her Advent book collection. Now, I buy all of these books secondhand. Normally I get them for 25 cents each, sometimes up to $1, but very rarely do I cross $1 for her Advent calendar. And I have selected this year's books, and so I also have all of those. So I'm going to run through my titles, and in a different video I will do a full-on book review. So if that interests you, now that we have a very lengthy intro, let's get started. Okay, so the first part, and speaking of which, if you are get out of YouTube. You shouldn't be on YouTube anyway. Okay, so to get started with, she has read the first boxcar series, and she's getting books 5 through 8 as part of her birthday, along with a lot of other fun book surprises. But we are missing 2 through 4, and so at Grassroots today, inside of their store, they don't just sell used books, they also sell new books, and I got books 2 through 4 brand new. These are not secondhand, and I got them for $1.99 a piece, which is really exciting. So we got Surprise Island, The Yellow House Mystery, and Mystery Ranch. So really exciting. For her birthday, I like to do what's called the birthday game, and I design a new game for her every year for her birthday. So I will wrap all of these individually, and there will be a clue for her to figure out what it is or where to find it or whatever. So I might wrap these all together, but I'm probably going to wrap them separately. So definitely, if that interests you, if you're interested in my gift wrapping hacks, my birthday ideas, those videos are coming out in the beginning of November. So definitely stay tuned. So that is the birthday. So for her birthday receipt for these 3 books, these retail on Amazon for between $6.99 and I want to say like $8.99 each, which I'm a huge proponent of reading, pushing reading, etc. That's out of my budget for books, so we're not doing that. So for these 3, their total came to $5.97 for 3. So that's really exciting. So woo! So for the less than the price of one of those books from Amazon, supporting a small local business, we got 3 of them. Now the next 2 books are not part of the Advent calendar, but I actually got these outside at their outside sale along with all the Advent calendar books. So the outside book sale, the children's books are 25 cents a book. They actually do a program where if you have a child ages 3 to 8, you can bring them in once a month and they can actually get up to 50 free books. So that is a fantastic program. They also do huge donations for local schools. So that's why I love to support this business. They're truly the most gracious people. They're always so welcoming and they do so much for the community. So outside sale, children's books, 25 cents a pop, which is fantastic. I have 16 books here, so I spent $4, which is amazing. So I actually spent less on all of these than I did on the new ones. But the first two are not for Advent. The first one is special. She's been asking for the pumpkin soup. This is a Scholastic book for a long time now. It's originally by Helen Cooper, and of course the art is beautiful, the concept is beautiful. In all of October and November, I like to make a lot of squash and pumpkin based recipes, and so this one is super cute because it absolutely fits that. And she doesn't know she's getting this. I'm just gonna give this to her next week when she's here right before Halloween, because this is one of her favorites and she's been asking me to find this, and I finally did. Now the next one, we did new books for Halloween. Same concept. I got them at the 25-cent table, and we got a few new books for Halloween and Thanksgiving. And she got them in her boo basket. You guys have probably seen that video already. And I didn't realize I miscounted. I am one book short for her to have a Halloween themed book for every day that she's with us for October. Well, wouldn't you know it, I found this cutie, Turkey Trick or Treat by Wendy Silvano. Again, it's a Scholastic book. And because they are secondhand, you can see that this actually came from Alberta, Canada. This book came a very long way. But at some point in time, it actually belonged somewhere else. But it's in beautiful condition. I can tell at the school that it came from, it was definitely a teacher reader because it is in stunning condition. And this will be the last Halloween book we read of this year. And because it has turkey in it, we're preparing for Thanksgiving. So I had to snag this one. So those are kind of unrelated. So 50 cents, 2 books, can't go wrong. Now, I have gone through these and I will be doing a book review on all of them as well. And I'm going to run through the titles. These are all of the books for this year's Advent calendar that I purchased today. Now, I already had a few for her Advent calendar already, which I also got for 25 cents at Grassroots earlier this year, which were these 3. This one is actually not going to be in the Advent calendar anymore. I'm going to move this. We'll just do this maybe with Valentine's Day, because the theme of this book is actually in February. So we're gonna bump this one back. But this one and this beautiful Jan Brett will both be in the Advent calendar. So we've not reviewed those yet. Those will be in the review later at a later date, but those 3 I got earlier. So with that said, these are all of the Advent books. So the first one that I picked up, this one just looked fun. It's Santa Mouse and the Rat Deer by Thatcher Hurd. I saw this, I read this when I was in probably 2nd or 3rd grade, and I thought this was the funniest little book. And here's just some example of the artwork. So lots of really fun, whimsical artwork. This one is by HarperCollins Publishers, and it is just a funky take on Santa and the reindeer as in a mouse-themed world. So reindeer all have funny new names. So I loved that one, had to snag that immediately. Now the next one, and we're gonna do the fun ones first and the religious ones second, so we'll get there. The second one, this is another wonderful Scholastic book. This is Santa's Secret Helper by Andrew Clements and Deborah Santini. And again, the art in this one is just beautiful. And this book has a surprise twist at the end. So I'm excited to review this one for you guys in a future video. The next one, I saw this, I immediately knew what this was. This is another from Scholastic called The Biggest Snowman Ever by Stephen Krull. And this is actually the sibling book to The Biggest Pumpkin Ever, which features these same 2 mice characters creating the biggest pumpkin with, you know, watering it and putting blankets on it. It's actually her favorite fall book. So I saw this, I knew we had to get it, and yet again, these 2 mice are working together to build the biggest snowman ever. So I loved that. I thought that was super cute. Now this one, I've never seen this before. It's by Chrissy Bozick, and the illustrations are by Joe Bucco. It's another Scholastic, and it's called The 12 Trains of Christmas. I was very excited to see this. Again, it's really simple. It's below her reading level for sure, but my dad, fun fact, built trains and worked with trains my entire life and for his entire professional career. So trains have always been very special. And I saw this and immediately knew this needed to be in the family collection for not just her, but any siblings that follow her. So I thought this one was such a special book. It follows a little boy as he and his family embark on a big journey, and they have to ride lots of trains to get there for Christmas. So I thought this one's really sweet, and I'm excited to review this one for you. This might be my top 3. Loved that. Now, the next one is called A New Coat for Anna. It's by Harriet Seifert and Anita Lobel. Again, a Scholastic. I really lucked out with Scholastic today. Huge Scholastic haul for sure. This is a really beautiful little story of, I'm going to go ahead and say a Russian girl. This is based on a true story. And it's about post-World War II. This girl and her mom can't afford to buy her a new coat, so it follows her through the seasons as they harvest all the elements that go into making her coat and then celebrate at the next Christmas season with all the people who helped. So really, really sweet, heartwarming, really embraces all of our Christmas values and morals. So excellent find for 25 cents. The next one is by my favorite author of all time for kids, Jan Brett. I've started a huge collection of Jan Brett for Missy, and this was one of my favorites as a kid. This is the Mitten. I'm pretty sure we've all read this book at some point in time. And this is, again, Jan Brett is notorious for her absolutely phenomenal artwork, and absolute beautiful storytelling skills. My favorite part about this is, again, Jan Brett illustrates a lot of Scandinavian themes, and embracing the Scandinavian side of my culture and heritage is a big deal for me, especially around the cold winter months. I'm pretty much half Irish, half Norwegian, and so I love Jan Brett's work and just the images she brings to life. So another very special find. Next up is Peef the Christmas Bear. This is about the most technicolored book I've ever seen for Christmas. It is by Tom Hegg, illustrated by Warren Hansen. And it is a super cute story that I've only just briefly read through, but the general gist of it is that Santa and his elves gather all their favorite materials and create a very special rainbow Christmas bear who helps him for years and years and years, and then one day finally finds a home of his own. So very cute, reminds me a little bit of Misfit Toys, really sweet story. Now, the next category are more on the religious cultural side of things. I know a lot of people don't actually include the religious cultural side in holiday festivities as their own choice. That's fine. I've just separated these to kind of, there's one that isn't as much, but I'm just giving this as the preface now. If that's not something you're interested in, you definitely don't have to continue watching the video. The first one, though, is by Caroline Castle. It's called The Big Fuzzy, and this story is inspired by the native people of Greenland, and it is such a sweet little story, and it pretty much just shows life on the ice and them being befriended by this great polar bear. I like to include cultural moments in holidays because how we celebrate here versus how things are celebrated worldwide are very different, and a lot of people use the imagery of the polar bear and the North people, you know, the northernmost populations, not just the Nordic people, for Christmas, and it's important to realize where those people come from and some of their stories. So for 25 cents, we absolutely cannot beat this. I look forward to diving into this even more. The next one, this is from Finland, and this is called The Christmas Angel, written and illustrated by Perico Vaino. And this is, again, this isn't directly religious. This definitely talks more about a moral side. This is a more elevated reader, a lot more text, a lot more in-depth concepts and thought. But again, this really influences more on things not being fun and magical and just, you know, write a list to Santa. This is more of what can you give in the spirit of Christmas to the community. And that's really the driving home. That's the moral of the story, you know? So love this, especially as we're getting a little older and now we need to be a little bit more serious about Christmas. So snatched that one up. Now the next bundle, this one's gonna surprise people. This one has nothing to do with Christmas. And this is The 8 Nights of Hanukkah. This is a hardcover, which again, these are rare to find in a 25-cent bin for sure. This is beautiful. I don't even know if this has ever been used. The price on the back says this was originally sold for $13. Now you're probably going, why are you giving a Hanukkah book in an advent calendar? And we started doing that last year to kind of start introducing the fact that Christianity and Christmas are not the only holidays being celebrated in the winter months. And let's talk about some of the other ones, especially because the entirety of Christianity is based on the Judaistic faith. So we need to know their holidays. And so this one is so cute. It's a take on the 12 days of Christmas. And it's all about Hanukkah. So it says, on the second night of Hanukkah, I clap my hands to see 2 Maccabees and a present waiting for me. How cute is that? So, and the thing that I love about books like this is it opens up conversations about the similarities and differences between holidays, but also how we really aren't that much different than our neighbors and friends. So love that one. The next one, before we really dive heavy into Christmas, is kind of another gentle take. And it is God Gave Us Christmas. It features this cute little polar bear family. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't say the name of this one. This is by Leslie Newman, illustrated by Olivia Savadier. I just butchered that, I'm so sorry. And I don't have a publisher on this one. This is by Abrams Publishing. So, cute. Okay. This one is God Gave Us Christmas by Lisa Tonbergian and David Hone. And this is from Waterbook Press. So they create a lot of really beautiful books that feature polar bears. I love polar bears. And this one is just showing a polar bear family talking about the true meaning of Christmas and what the gifts of Christmas really are. So, you know, all of the fun things out there. So I'm excited to review this one. This one's really sweet as well. Now, before we get too heavy into the religious side of things, the first gentle take in is the Berenstein Bears, The Very First Christmas. Of course, this is by Jan and Mike Berenstein. Are they all by Jan and Mike? I thought it was Jan and someone else. Doesn't matter. Anyway, and this tells the Christmas story just with the Berenstein Bears as the main characters. We're still putting together how that story works. Last year, she was pretty close to understanding the timeline of events, but I figured this will be a good introduction and reminder for the story. So super cute, 25 cents, can't beat it. And then the last two are both, I saw them and immediately just knew I had to bring them home. The first one is The Little Shepherd's Christmas. And this is by Scholastic, written by Carol Heyer. The artwork in this is, again, absolutely stunning. And what caught me off guard about this is that this is telling the story of the first Christmas from the perspective of the youngest shepherd. And there's a lot of theological theory about the actual youngest shepherd. If you want me to get into that in another video, I could talk about it. But what I love is that they use names that are accurate and that are traditional to the people who were living in Bethlehem at the time, and fit. They're not Anglicanized names, so it also opens questions about, like, I've never heard these words before, I've never heard this name, who were these people? Because we have to kind of remind ourselves that this story did not take place in high mountains with big pine trees or anything like that, and books like this are excellent reminders of that fact. So I'm really excited to dive further into this one and do a review on it for a future video. And lastly is Follow the Star, which came with a CD. So that's really fun. And it was originally published as Small Camel Follows the Star. It's by Rachel W.N. Brown and illustrated by Giuliano Ferri, again from Scholastic. I hit it out of the park with Scholastic today. And I love that it tells the story of one of Balthazar's young camels who came with him on the journey to seek the baby Jesus. And my favorite part about this story is that they actually portray a toddler-aged Jesus rather than an infant, because again, if you read the book, the actual book, this journey didn't happen in one night. And this was a trial of many years. And of that, this story follows the smallest camel as he followed Balthazar to meet the baby Jesus. So this is a really beautiful story. I'm really excited to get into this one even more. So with that said, those are all of today's finds. I spent a whopping $10.33 at Grassroots Books, and I came home with 19 new books. So that's roughly $1 a book, and 3 of those were brand new full price books, and 16 of them were 25 cents a piece. Oh, I'm sorry, my math was completely off. $10.33 for 19 books. So that's roughly 50 cents a book, which is fantastic. And I absolutely love that. If you are looking for ways to make reading more accessible to you, your children, your classroom, your church group, your community center, please drop a comment below. And I'd like to give a huge thank you to the authors who have reached out to me to have me review some of your books. I'm waiting on a few Amazon orders to come in with your books, and I'm hoping to get those done before the holiday season so we can share with the YouTube community your incredible work, especially for those of you who are writing books that are going to help change America. So I'm so excited to be on this reading journey with you all and sharing with you my thoughts and opinions and how to create accessibility for learning in your communities. I will see you in the next one.